Welcome to Skilled MBA Case Study Series in Accounting. In March 2021, AT&T faced Securities and Exchange Commission scrutiny for allegedly informing analysts about missing revenue expectations through private calls. This raised questions about potential violations of Regulation Fair Disclosure, which mandates equal information access for all investors. The case highlights the tension between selective disclosure and market fairness, challenging regulatory compliance in corporate communications. In March 2021, AT&T faced Securities and Exchange Commission scrutiny for allegedly informing analysts privately about missing revenue expectations. This raised questions about potential violations of Regulation Fair Disclosure, which prohibits selective disclosure of material information. The case highlights the importance of maintaining market fairness and regulatory compliance in corporate communications. Regulation Fair Disclosure, established by the Securities and Exchange Commission in 2000, aims to ensure all investors receive material information simultaneously, preventing selective disclosure. It prohibits companies from sharing non-public information with select individuals before public release, creating a level playing field for all investors. The Securities and Exchange Commission alleged that AT&T executives privately contacted analysts from 3 investment firms, hinting at a revenue shortfall. This information was not publicly disclosed until days later, leading the Securities and Exchange Commission to determine that these actions breached Regulation Fair Disclosure. AT&T defended its actions by asserting the information shared was immaterial, unlikely to influence investment decisions. They argued analysts used public data for projections, maintaining legal compliance. AT&T accused the Securities and Exchange Commission of overreaching, suggesting the regulators expanded Regulation Fair Disclosure's scope beyond its original intent. Material information is crucial for investors, impacting financial metrics like revenue and earnings. It holds investor influence, as reasonable investors would deem it important. Price sensitivity is key, as such information could affect stock prices. Contextual significance requires evaluating the information within the broader business context to determine its materiality. Material disclosure involves explicit statements about earnings misses, while nuanced guidance hints at trends without specifics. The conversational context, including tone and emphasis during analyst calls, plays a crucial role. Public information already disclosed in filings must be considered. Understanding these nuances is vital for accurate and compliant communication. The case's legal precedent could redefine material information standards, creating uncertainty for companies. Legal teams must reassess communication protocols as Regulation Fair Disclosure interpretations evolve. Stricter documentation of analyst interactions is now essential, with regular updates to disclosure policies. Investor trust hinges on transparency, a competitive advantage crucial for maintaining market reputation. Companies are enhancing legal reviews, with legal teams pre-approving analyst communication points. Investor relations teams undergo specialized Regulation Fair Disclosure compliance training, including role-playing for challenging questions. Public webcasts of analyst calls are now common, ensuring simultaneous disclosure to all investors, reinforcing transparency and trust. Business students must grasp disclosure regulations, understanding both the letter and spirit of the law. Implementing robust compliance processes and systems to prevent selective disclosure is crucial. Building trust through transparency enhances market confidence, emphasizing the importance of fair disclosure in maintaining investor trust and regulatory compliance. Global regulatory frameworks emphasize transparency and fairness in financial disclosures. Key regulations like the European Union's Market Abuse Regulation and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission's Regulation Fair Disclosure aim to prevent insider trading and ensure equal access to information. Understanding these regulations is crucial for maintaining compliance and fostering investor trust in global markets. Broadcast analyst calls publicly and archive disclosures. Establish clear communication protocols and approval processes. Implement quiet periods before earnings announcements to limit analyst interactions. Regularly train executives on compliance updates and conduct scenario simulations to ensure adherence to best practices. The AT&T case highlights key lessons. Materiality is subjective. When uncertain, treat information as material. Documentation is crucial. Maintain detailed records of analyst communications. Prioritize public disclosure before analyst discussions to ensure timely information release. Remember, disclosure violations not only have legal repercussions, but also damage market trust, with reputational harm often outlasting financial penalties. AI will enhance disclosure compliance monitoring, while blockchain could ensure immutable records. Social media disclosures face stricter regulations, with expectations for instantaneous global distribution. Regulators will use data analytics to detect violations, and penalties for non-compliance are expected to rise. Thank you for joining us at Skilled MBAI. The future of fair disclosure is evolving with technology-driven transparency. Artificial intelligence will monitor compliance, while blockchain ensures immutable records. Social media disclosures will face stricter regulations, demanding instantaneous global distribution. Regulators will use data analytics to detect violations, with increased penalties for non-compliance. This landscape requires businesses to adapt swiftly to maintain transparency and accountability.